Hello students, I am Latika Likha. I am gold medalist in MPhil Mathematics and I have been associated with Ask IITians for the past 3 years as mathematics faculty. So now we will be beginning the chapter on statistics. I have broken this chapter into several parts, and statistics basically is a very interesting chapter, and it is also a nice chapter in the sense that it does not require too much of labor and you can fetch some simple scores, some easy scores with this chapter. So first of all, we will be beginning with the definition of statistics. What do we mean by statistics? And then we will be switching to the measures of central tendency. That is, there are 3 measures. We will discuss mean, median and mode. We shall discuss the formulae in 3 series. That is, first of all, we will be discussing the formulae for mean in case of individual series, then discrete frequency distribution, and finally the continuous frequency distribution. Similarly, once we are done with mean, we will switch to median and finally the mode. We shall also discuss the types of distribution, like we shall discuss symmetric distribution, then positively skewed and negatively skewed distribution. And then we will be switching to measures of dispersion. There are basically 4 measures: range, mean deviation, standard deviation and finally variance. So after we are done with this, we shall also discuss side by side some questions related to the concepts. So in the first part, we will be beginning with definition of statistics. We will discuss what do we mean by statistics, then what do we mean by the term data, and then we will switch to measures of central tendency. So let's begin. Okay, so now we have a very interesting chapter, I would say, that is statistics. So statistics, I am sure you must have heard this word. This is a very interesting chapter and it won't require too much of hard work also. It's just that you have to get well versed with the formulae. There are certain formulae, not too many of them, but there are certain formulae, and so obviously then you will have to practice questions on it. So let's begin this chapter, statistics. So if I say statistics in simple words, statistics is anything to do with data, and we perform some we use some statistical tools to find out some. You'll get to know there are various measures of central tendency, then we'll discuss measures of dispersion. So as they come, we'll be discussing each of these concepts. But in simple words, it is statistics basically refers to any set of concepts or rules. And so let us discuss a formal definition. Statistics is a set of concepts, rules and procedures that help us to organize numerical information in the form of tables, graphs and charts, then understand statistical techniques underlying decisions that affect our lives and well-being, and make informed decisions. So statistics basically refers to a set of concepts or rules which are helpful to us in various ways, in the sense that we organize the numerical information. With the help of statistics, we can organize our data in the form of tables, or you can prepare graphs so that you can easily understand that data. The interpretation or understanding of the data becomes quite simpler with the help of statistics. Then we can understand that data and we can make informed decisions. So first of all, we are saying statistics helps us to organize data, to understand data and etc. So what do you mean by data? Data basically refers to any set of facts or information that are derived from certain observations. Like we perform certain experiments and we derive certain, we perform certain investigations and we derive certain information. That those facts or observations are known as data. They can collectively be termed as data. So data basically refers to facts, observations and information that come from investigations. Generally 3 types of data are used. Now this is important in the sense that whatever we discuss further, that we'll be discussing the measures of central tendency, then we'll be discussing the measures of dispersion. In each and everything, you need to know that basically there are 3 types of data, right? 3 types of data. First of all, we have ungrouped or raw data, or you can say individual series. As the name suggests, that is completely raw data. Then we have discrete frequency distribution or ungrouped data, and continuous frequency or grouped data. We will be discussing these types of data also. one by one, but as of now you have to know that there are three types of data. Raw series you can have, then you can have discrete distribution, you can learn it this way. First of all, ungrouped or raw data, then you can have discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. We will be using these terms often, so you won't have to mug up that, you will get to know it automatically, right? So ungrouped or raw data is clear. Raw data is any data which is in completely raw form. Like you have certain numbers that will be termed as raw data. So next was discrete frequency or ungrouped data. Now data consists of n distinct values x1, x2, so on xn, occurring with frequencies f1, f2, so on fn respectively. This data in tabular form is termed as discrete frequency distribution. So discrete frequency means you'll have a certain the data would be in form of certain distinct values. Suppose we have n distinct values x1, x2, so on xn, and you'll be having corresponding frequencies for that data like f1, f2, fn. We'll be discussing the examples, the things will be clearer. Then we have continuous frequency. Continuous frequency in simple words means just you'll be having the data in the form of class intervals, like you'll be having 5 to 10, then you'll be having corresponding frequency, then 10 to 15, 5 to 10, frequency is 2, then you'll have 10 to 15, then 15 to 20, 4, 1, something of this form, right? So continuous frequency or group data would mean just that it would be in the form, the data would be in the form of class intervals. A continuous frequency distribution is a series in which the data are classified into different class intervals without gaps along with their respective frequencies. Now we have measures of central value. This is important. Measures of central value. Measures of central value give a rough idea about where the data points are located or centered. Mean, mode, median are the three measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency, there are three main types of measures of central tendency, which are mean, I am sure you must have heard about this word. Then we have mode and median. We shall discuss each of these concepts in detail one by one. So the first one is mean. The mean is the most, I am sure most of you must have heard this word mean, and in simple words, mean just means average. So the mean is the most common measure of central tendency and the one that can be mathematically manipulated. It is defined as the average of a distribution is equal to sigma x by n. Sigma x by n basically means you have your data like you have certain numbers x1, x2, xn. Sigma x means x1 plus x2 plus xn. You will just sum up each of your all your observations and you will divide the result by number of observations, that is sigma x by n. Simply the mean is computed by summing all the scores in the distribution, that is finding sigma x, and dividing that sum by the total number of scores, that is n. So mean is generally denoted by this: x bar is equal to sigma x by n, where n is the total number of observations. And sigma x, you know, the sum of all observations. So when we talk of mean, there can be 5 types. We will be discussing basically in mean. Arithmetic mean of, as we discussed, individual series, that is raw data. Then in case of discrete distribution, right, then you will have continuous frequency distribution. Then we will discuss combined arithmetic mean, and finally the weighted mean. Weighted arithmetic mean. So basically we under mean we will be discussing 5 heads. First of all for individual series, then we will discuss for discrete frequency distribution, then continuous frequency distribution, combined arithmetic mean, and finally the weighted arithmetic mean. So first of all, we have arithmetic mean of individual series or ungrouped data. If the series in this case be x1, x2, xn, then the arithmetic mean, this is the most commonly used notation for mean, that is x bar. Given by x bar is sum of series by number of terms, which is x1 plus x2 plus xn by n. It can be written as 1 by n sigma xi. So if you have your data in the form of individual series, that is completely raw data, you are given certain numbers, then you just, in order to find your arithmetic mean, what you will do is you just add up all those observations and divide that sum of all observations by the number of observations. So the formula in this case becomes x bar is equal to 1 by n sigma xi. Sigma xi is sum of all observations. So this is quite simple, I suppose. Then we have arithmetic mean for discrete frequency distribution. So in case of discrete frequency distribution, as we discussed, you will be given certain numbers, data would be in the form of numbers, and you will be having corresponding frequencies. So if the terms of the given series be x1, x2, xn and the corresponding frequencies be f1, f2, fn, then the arithmetic mean x bar is given by f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus fn so on fn xn divided by n, that is 1 by n sigma fi xi, where sigma fi is n. So first of all, you should be knowing whether you should be able to figure out whether in the question the given data is in the form of raw data, or it is discrete frequency distribution, or it is continuous frequency distribution. So in case of discrete, the formula is x bar is sigma fi xi divided by n. That is, you will take your one set of data value, you will multiply that particular value with the corresponding frequency. Then again you will add to this sum, you will add the next data value, the product of next data value with its corresponding frequency. So multiply each data by its corresponding frequency, sum up this products and divide it by n. Next is arithmetic mean for grouped or continuous frequency distribution. In this case, the formula is, the data would be given in the form of class intervals. So the formula is x bar is equal to a plus 1 by n sigma fi xi minus a, where a, this a is assumed mean, f you know is frequency, and x minus a is deviation of each item from the assumed mean. So once we discuss the examples, this will be clearer to you how to use this formula. The continuous frequency class intervals would be given, you will find out the assumed mean, then you will apply the formula a plus 1 by n sigma fi into xi minus a. Fourth we have is combined arithmetic mean. This is important. If xi bar, this is I going 1 to k, are the means of k component series of sizes and I going 1 to k respectively, then the mean x bar of the composite series obtained on combining the component series is given by the formula. So combined arithmetic means, if you have certain arithmetic means of certain series and you have the sizes, corresponding sizes also, like you have x1 bar, x2 bar, so on, xk bar are the arithmetic means of sizes n1, n2, so on, nk. Then how do you find out the combined arithmetic mean of all these series? That will be given by x bar is equal to n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar plus nk xk bar divided by n1 plus n2 plus nk. So again this means you will take up your first mean x1 bar, multiply it by its size, then add up, take up second mean, multiply it by its size, and so on. The sum of products of means with its corresponding sizes divided, whole this sum will be divided by the sum of all sizes, sum of all sizes of all series, that is n1 plus n2 plus nk, and we can write it as sigma of ni xi bar divided by sigma of ni. So this formula is important. You can expect questions based on this formula. Last one is weighted arithmetic mean. Now weighted, by the name itself, it suggests that it has something to do with weights. So weighted arithmetic mean refers to the arithmetic mean calculated after assigning weights to different values of variable. It is suitable where the relative importance of different items of variable is not same. If the relative importance of different items of a variable is not same, then in that case we use weighted arithmetic mean. The formula is same. We have xw, weighted arithmetic mean bar, is equal to summation wi xi by summation wi. Again, multiply the data values by their corresponding weights, add up all those products and divide it by the sum of all weights. Now we have properties of arithmetic mean. If each of the values of a variable x is increased or decreased by some constant k, then arithmetic mean is also increased or decreased by k. This is important. These properties are extremely important. You can have direct questions which can ask you these statements itself directly, or you can also expect numericals based on these concepts. So it is saying that if each of the values of a variable x, we have a variable x, if each of the values of variable x is increased or decreased by some constant k, then what would be the effect on arithmetic mean? In that case, the arithmetic mean also gets increased or decreased, as the case may be, by the same constant k. Similarly, when the value of variable x are multiplied or divided by constant, again if the values of variable x are multiplied or divided by a constant k, then the arithmetic mean is also multiplied or divided, as the case may be, by the same constant k. So just try to understand these properties. You can expect question based on them, and we shall discuss later the questions based on arithmetic mean also. So I hope you must have understood the concept of statistics, that is basically the definition of statistics, and the concept of mean. So you must have understood how to calculate mean in case of individual series, and then combined arithmetic mean and weighted arithmetic mean. Now in the next section we will be discussing the concept of median. We shall discuss median for individual series, discrete frequency distribution and continuous frequency distribution. So keep watching.